appreciate it.
Yeah, curious to see what the conversation's about.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, yeah, this is fairly similar to the Alien Worlds Fractal that we met at several times before, but we have lots of differences here. I'll also just give a little intro too, because we just started recording. Welcome everybody to the 20th Eden Fractal meeting. Thank you for joining. We have lots of new people today, and we were just talking about the process with Eden plus Fractal and how it works and everything like that, and the UI tool. And welcome everybody. Jesse also shared why he's excited about Eden Fractal for networking to earn and so forth. So we're getting into it, and yeah, welcome. Thanks so much everybody for joining, and we're going to break out into breakout rooms in 10 minutes. And if we like, we can go over the agenda and how it works and so forth before then. Also, one thing I forgot to mention before is after the breakout rooms will be 55 minutes. They'll end at about 14 UTC or 13:55 UTC. And then after that, we'll come back to the community room and we'll have a community discussion. We're working on getting more structure. So we're deliberating ways to like structure the meeting with, there's several proposals that the community is aiming to or has shared and wants to discuss and is interested in passing. So for the next hour after that, we'll probably discuss proposals, although also it'd be great to hear everybody's experiences as well, especially new people, so we can, provide the best experience possible and so forth to everybody. Hey, Seth, you have your hand raised.
Is there a short version of the contributor agreement? Because I just look on chain before signing it. I'm talking about this Eden Fract Front web app. And this is a very, very long thing to sign.
Yes, thank you for asking. Currently, there's no requirement to sign that. That is, I believe, that's copied and pasted from the Fractal Contributor Agreement that the Fractal team created. Dan Larimer and the Fractal team put a lot of work into writing quite a comprehensive Fractal Contributor Agreement. And then they basically required everybody to sign that to participate in the Genesis Fractal. And I think it brings a lot of benefits and just, setting expectations clear and making sure everybody understands what's going on and reducing liability and so forth. But it is quite long and it takes like probably 5 or 10 minutes to read right now. So right now that's not a requirement to sign that, so you don't have to worry about it. But that's something that we're thinking about for the future, whether we should write a shorter version of that or write a different version or pass a proposal where everybody has to sign or something like that. But right now it's not in effect.
Sounds like a volunteer opportunity.
Yes, there's lots of volunteer opportunities to go around here.
So Patrick linked these consortium proposals. This is a way for the community to signal what they would like to talk about after the networking to earn time. This is my first time being on, first time in a while. So my question is, I guess for Vlad, if I vote with all my token power, does that mean I can't vote for any other proposal?
You can use all your tokens for each proposal.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe we can do a quick rundown of the consortium app for people that haven't used it yet. If you guys feel free to do this until we go into breakout rooms, I'm not sure.
That would be great.
Yep, sounds good. I actually just read an article about consortium as well, and I put together some of the proposals that I recently made. People can go to consortium.vote or the link above that Patrick shared to learn more. And then also this article I wrote is edencreators.com/consortium. I've been using and following consortium tool for a long time. Vlad built it with Lenar about 2 years ago, or that's when he started. And I think it's a really helpful tool for the community, and we're considering using it for all proposals and lots of votes, perhaps in real time, to help signal and reach consensus and figure out what to do as a community. So if you want to check out edencreators.com/consortium, then you can scroll through some of the recent proposals I made, as well as consortium.vote. You can see proposals that Das and Vlad also recently made, and Lenny made new proposals. So we have lots of proposals on consortium right now. And then also, if you scroll down on the site that I made, then there's a brief description, introduction into consortium. If people would like, I can also share a screen or something to show more. Or if anybody else would like to add on that, then feel free.
Maybe we can talk a little bit about the staking system there. So as I understand correctly, I stake govern token, and therefore I get Eden token, which I can then use to vote on proposals. Is this correct?
No, I don't think that's correct. So the govern token is pretty unrelated to the Eden token right now. Vlad can comment on this if I would like to add, but the govern has its own tokenomic system, which is quite interesting. But right now it doesn't have anything to do with the Eden token. So basically it just, people can earn the Eden token by participating in these events. People earn more Eden tokens if you get a higher level in your breakout room. And the Eden token doesn't really have any use or function right now, other than just that you can use it to vote on consortium. And these votes are all like non-binding. It's all just, signals to send out to the community. But basically, you don't have to be concerned with the govern token, except that I think that you might need govern token to make new polls. But other than that, the govern token doesn't really come into play for right now. Although we are working on ways to share the govern token with Eden Fractal community, so we can use the govern token more.
Awesome, thanks for clarifying.
You're welcome, Martin. Thanks for asking. Welcome, Han. It's great to see you. I'm glad you finally could make it. And I saw your post too this morning. I still have to read it, but it looks like a really cool summary post. So thanks, Han. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Does everybody understand how the process works with the breakout rooms and everything like that? Or does anybody have any questions? We're going to break out into 3 minutes, and we'd be happy to clarify anything for you in advance if you'd like. Oh, or just in general, if anybody has any questions, then that'd be cool too.
Yeah, this is my first meeting, and I want to give a shout out to Lisa. I wouldn't be here if she hadn't said, "Hey, Luke, show up." And I have another meeting coming up. I don't know if I can stay the whole time, but if I understand correctly, the Eden Fractal process is kind of like you talk about what you've been up to and how you've been adding value to the ecosystem. And then is there like a ranked choice voting kind of a thing? I see the page where it just says, you put in it just has these fields. Do people in the chat say, this is my EOS account? Is that how that works? Or how do you know what to put in those fields? And I guess the people I'm in a room, hopefully they'll understand it better than me.
Yeah, thanks for asking, Luke. And of course, thanks for joining too. Really appreciate it. And also thanks, Lisa, for inviting everybody. Once again, I encourage people to give Lisa and also all the new people lots of respect during our room to show how much we appreciate everybody joining and telling friends and whatnot. And then, yeah,
That's not why we're doing it.
Right.
It's not for the reward. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. Well, it can work both ways. Yeah. And then Luke, to answer your questions, yeah, so we do the Fractal process where we go into the breakout rooms. We have 55 minutes total, and we actually do the Eden plus Fractal process now. So we do both electing delegates to help make community decisions, and then also ranking contributions. So once we go into the breakout rooms, we'll have 55 minutes up until top of the hour, basically 14 UTC, or actually, 1410 UTC, because it's kind of awkward right now. We're thinking of changing the time a little bit, but until 1410 UTC, we'll go and each person will share what they're doing to help the community, whether that be EOS or Eden or Wax, or just share who you are and what you do and introduce yourself. And then after people share their contributions for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, then the community will come to consensus in ranking contributions from greatest to least. So if somebody did something really awesome for the community, then you might want to rank them number 6, and then they get more respect and so forth. And if somebody did something really cool but not quite as awesome, then you get level 5 and they get a little bit less respect and so forth, or respect tokens rather. And then in addition, we'll also elect delegates too to help make community decisions. So it's gonna be a little bit confusing because we just had this new extra separate process, but I think it's really cool and be really helpful. And also there are mostly people who have been around in several meetings here. So if anybody's in a meeting and you don't know what's going on, then you can ask people who are in your group, and there's a good chance they can help guide you. Or you can always send a message out to me or other people who regularly join to ask any questions during the meeting too, and we'd be happy to help. And then yeah, regarding the interface that Felix just shared in the chat, that is just posting EOS accounts there. So you can just ask for the EOS accounts of everybody who's in your group. Generally, we write the account names in Zoom beforehand, so you can easily copy and paste it there.
One more question: is signing the agreement mandatory in order to submit votes?
No, it's not currently mandatory. I don't know if anybody signed it yet. I think
I can't sign it. I tried signing it. I tried signing it, and I got a bug. So I'm not sure if it's on my end or on
I
anybody
signed it
else.
like a year ago.
Anyway,
yeah,
as long as it's not a hurdle for people to participate, then it's fine.
Yep, sounds good. Yeah, I guess Vlad is still building that feature or something, or we have to go back to it. But yep, it's not mandatory to sign it all right now, and we'll figure that out later with more details. And I suppose without further ado now, we're about a minute past time, so we can break out into breaking rooms. There is 19 people, so we'll have 3 breakout rooms with 5 or 6 people each. And I'll start it up now. Hope everybody has a great time.
Cheers. Thanks. Awesome. What a high profile breakout room we have.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Hey everyone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey Martin.
Hey, Vlad.
Hey man. Oh. I guess
Appetite, man.
everybody is pretty aware of the process except Broken. We have a new one. It's your first time, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll follow you guys.
Yeah. So who wants to start with introductions? Who needs an introduction?
I'd be happy to go first, or if anybody else would like to go. I know Duane probably has some awesome stuff to say, or Vlad, and either way works.
Cool. One more question. I don't need to record, right? People don't need to record.
People don't need to record, but I am recording though, and I'm planning to share this on YouTube.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Okay. Cool. Well, before we get going, so Extra or Brokendollz, do you guys have any questions?
No, I'm good. I'll just see what you guys do and follow.
Yeah, I mean, Dan, if you said it's pretty similar to the other one, the Alien Worlds one, then I kind of have some idea about what to do, you know. So, but yeah, I'll follow along.
Okay.
Oh,
Great. Would anybody like to go first? Maybe would you like to go first, Martin?
I can go first, sure. No problem. I'm gonna keep this short. I haven't been present here on the Eden Fractal for a while, but now I'm planning to come back. Made some time. I had last week. Oh, it's a short introduction. I'm Martin. I'm working with the Gems team. We're doing NFTs and community engagement for the ENF, and I'm also working for EOS Nation as the regional director Asia. I've been in EOS for over 4 years. With regards to Eden and Eden Fractal, I intend to push forward more initiatives with NFTs. I talked with Jesse about his initiative to use the decentralized whitelisting. I think there's way more potential than just for NFT collectors. So I'm planning to introduce him to a couple of marketplaces that are planning to launch, or are in the ecosystem or looking into the ecosystem. And I gave him a good feedback on his proposal on in the call that we had. And I promoted this meeting today here on the Wax Discovery show that we're doing every Tuesday. So yeah, any questions? I'm not planning to be ranked high.
I do have a question that's unrelated, sorry, but just something I'm wondering about. So right now we have 3 rooms of 6, and so the rooms are maxed out. There's 2 people that just joined. Jorge just joined, and then somebody called Bruno Jr., who I'm not familiar with. I'm wondering, do you guys have any thoughts? Like, I suppose we could invite them to this room, and then if more people join, then they could start their own room. And
does it allow you to start a new room and maybe put 1 or 2 people over in it?
No, I don't even think it does.
Right.
So yeah, I think I'd have to start it all over to start a new room, which wouldn't really work. I could invite them here and then see what they think, or do you think that's a good idea?
Invite them. Let's invite them here. I mean,
Okay.
there will be people that we can't include in the ranking then.
Right.
But I think that's okay for now.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, and if there are more people that join soon, then we could ask if they wanted to start up their own Zoom call to do theirs, I suppose.
Yeah.
Family.
Okay, cool. Sorry, Martin, for jumping in after your great introduction with that unrelated question.
No problem. Since we're a lot of people in the room, I think we can keep this short. If anybody has questions about what I'm doing or wants to give me suggestions on how to be more useful, then I'm open. I'm all ears. Otherwise, I think we can go to the next person.
Sounds great. Thanks, Martin.
No problem.
Are we gonna be 7 people in this room?
Yeah, Jorge. So currently, actually, there's a spot that just opened up, although this is confusing because I don't know if somebody's going to try to join back. So we have 3 rooms. They all have 8 people, or they all have 6 people rather. So they were all filled. And I just asked the people in this group what we should do, because there was you and there was also another person who joined too, although they're not here anymore. And so we were deliberating what to do. I don't think we can reach consensus with 7 because the service and smart contracts and stuff doesn't really work with that. So
yeah, no problem. I can be. I don't need ranking. I can just like be in the odd number 7. No problem. Let's move forward.
But you said there is a free spot in another room.
There is. I'll send you to room 5 or room 1 rather. But then the only issue is it was filled with 6 people. So I don't know if that person's going to come back. But I suppose
precedent. You snooze, you lose.
I think somebody wrote in the chat that he can't stay. Maybe you invited him and then he left.
Yeah, that was Brandon Lovejoy. I think he might have left earlier. Was Brandon in the room earlier?
No, I think he left before it started.
Okay.
So I don't think he's there. So do you think that it makes sense for Jorge to go to room 1 because there's only 5 people there, and then I suppose Jorge
try it out. Add some chaos to the process.
Right. Okay. If you have any issues, Jorge, feel free to reach out in Discord and we'll try to get it sorted out.
Okay.
You know, we've had this a couple times. Maybe.
So what do? Do I leave this room?
Yeah, I'll send you to room 1. I was just hearing what Duane said, but I'll just send you, or I'll give you the chance to move there right now. I'll click the button now. Okay.
I've had it a few times, Dan. You know what we do? Maybe because we always have 1 or 2 people come late, maybe we just set up rooms of 5 and then just have, instead of max them out at the beginning.
That's probably a good idea.
Forward. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Duane.
Yeah, for sure. I can go next. Mine's pretty quick too. I love the marketers. I love how Jesse started the process by saying network to earn. I think that's going to really captivate a lot of people. And I kind of ran on the Eden election to bring people into the group by using this as a whitelisting. My only difference is I'm running for a council member on Alien Worlds. It's like one of the most exciting things in my life to see like the whole circle of like 2 years of like starting DAX. Hey, we got DAX. No one's interested. And like, hey, let's make a game to like get people in the DAX. And it's like finally live. So just to see the I think it's going to be a lot of activity, and I'm going to twist someone's arm, Vlad. I'm going to twist someone's arm to make a tool to say, hey, if you have a Wax account, I'm going to use. I got to the second level of the Eden elections. I'm going to put all that EOS into giving people a free account if they kind of validate and link their Wax account to their EOS account. And it kind of has a double whammy. Then we could use that kind of proof of unique human, both on Wax and EOS. And there's always a debate of, bots in this. And I've always been under the position, or I'm going up for the, my, official position as an elected official is bots are okay. It's just, hey, let's give out more rewards for people that go through these extra processes. So I'm going to run on Ike. And it's Lisa's done an incredible job. She's like a marketing machine. And what I'm running on is bringing people, especially with IBC coming up, back to EOS, back to how EOS DAX started, to use all these different tools on EOS, right? So if we've got all these really nice tools, we have a whole community on Wax. Now we have a use, we can bring them over. And I can see that, funding for open source projects, we've got Pomelo, we've got Eden for verification. And then we have this process where we can have almost shovel ready jobs like the bees and marketing, where we can really reward people for play for activity, right? There's not really that, shoot, I'm on record, but there's not that fun of a game, just pressing a button. But, we can really I can do a game. I'm not a developer, but I can get people into this group and say, hey, this is a game. You get rewarded with tokens for what you participated in. So that's what I've kind of been up to. Tomorrow, if no one knows, tomorrow is the first day they're opening up the elections. So we'll see what that's about. We're going to have like a full crown day, kind of, podcast. So yeah, fun times. Dan, thanks for hosting all this. And yeah, we'll see this next, I'm pretty confident this is the year of the DAC because I already saw a headline that said DACs are dead. So that's the first indicator that we're getting somewhere. And then, a lot of not as fun stuff. A lot of people like the Fractal team worried about the liabilities. So that's going to be really kind of the tougher issue we all tackle when we become part of a DAO that has a treasury with some funds. That'll be a continued show every week of how do we set that up so we don't take any liability, because we know we're going to get a pretty probably stiff user agreement from DeCoco. How do we protect ourselves? But yeah, that's what I'm up to. Pretty excited to see everybody here. A lot of faces we haven't seen here, so welcome everybody. And yeah, I'll pass it on. To Vlad.
Thanks. So for Eden Fractal, I did two things. One is that I added it to the operator. I can share the link. So I think today, after everybody has voted, I think we are going to be on the first page because there's like more than 15 people. So that's good. Then second thing was on Consortium, I created a new pool and whitelisted all the accounts that have participated in Eden Fractal until this point. And now each person can claim a pretty big amount of govern tokens. So if the circulation of govern was 180 million, it was increased by 50 million. So each member will be able to claim 1 million govern token. So that's for Eden Fractal. For EOS, mostly I've been focused on CTF. We finished with the testing, and now we are already deploying the code of the next phase. So really exciting, because this phase was in development for more than a year, and finally it's getting rolled out. So that's it for me. Dan, would you like to go?
Yes, great. Thank you very much, Vlad. I'd also first like to say welcome to Bruno Jr. I don't think we've met before, but thank you for joining. And I'm not sure how familiar you are with the process, Bruno, or if you'd like to participate, but feel free to speak up if you'd like to share your thoughts. You joined a bit late, so we're already getting started with it. But yeah, I just wanted to say welcome, thanks for joining. And then if you have any thoughts or questions or anything like that, then feel free to share.
Hey, thanks guys. Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm not really sure. I got this link a little bit late. Lisa sent it, but I'm just going to observe for a little while. So yeah, hey, carry on.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks, Bruno. Yeah, and in the future, we usually break out into breakout rooms at 13:15 UTC, which is about 15 minutes ago. So if you join before then, and there could also be changes in times coming up soon, because we're kind of in a state of flux right now. But in future weeks, if you join before then you can be in the breakout room before we get started, and then it'd be a little bit easier to be able to participate and everything like that, because by the time you joined, we already had full groups of 6, and so we just figured we'd invite you here so you can listen and stuff. But if you want to join earlier in future weeks, then you can fully participate and everything like that. And then yeah, feel free to share your thoughts here while we're here. And thanks again, Bruno.
Great, Roger Dodger.
All right, cool. All right, so I'll share a little presentation about things that I've been doing to, apparently it's not the wrong window. Okay, cool. So here's a little presentation of things. Sorry, my window's been messing up. And I'm trying to move the, okay, whatever, we'll go with it. So here's what I've been doing with Eden Fractal and EOS, and also Wax and Alien Worlds. And I love that these two communities are coming together and doing all sorts of cool things. This is the EdenFractal.com website. Didn't really make any changes there, but it looks cool. Also, the Twitter is apparently reloading, but this week I worked quite a lot. And one of the things I did was just yesterday, I put out a tweet, and I did a swarm for the tweet for Eden Town Hall number 20. I produced a video, and I did a little podcast show with Patrick from Nova Crypto and Nicola from the EOSBs, and we talked about lots of initiatives, and we also talked about consortium proposals that I made and just consortium in general, and invite people to join. We have these every Sunday at 16 UTC where we talk about Eden and lots of things going on with Eden, so you can check that out. The whole podcast or show was like 20 minutes, so it's quite short. We did a version where we had a very kind of high lots of ideas in a short amount of time, and I also made a little song about that last week too. I also put together a page this week about consortium, edencreators.com/consortium, that I featured on the video, where I, well, first off, I made several proposals for consortium. I broke it down into a little intro where I explained some different sections. I'll continue editing this, but I made several proposals with consortium, basically to use consortium as a signaling tool. I did this last week, and I put this together about how I think that these 4 proposals can be really helpful for the community on this page, and then also about posting all proposals on consortium, and then prioritizing proposals with more votes on consortium during meetings in the AR after breakout rooms. We've been doing this for the past 19 weeks, and people care a lot about these. It's been at times kind of some commotion and a little chaotic, so we're aiming to bring some more structure to the meetings after the breakout rooms, and these are some proposals to use consortium to help facilitate that. I think consortium can be a really helpful tool for that, amongst other purposes. I also did some considerations where we wrote about different things, and then I wrote a general introduction to consortium here, where you can learn more and then see some pictures and so forth. And then I included some links where people can learn about different things that consortium is doing and recent media posts and so forth, and then shared some other links below. I also talked with Vlad quite a bit about what Vlad was saying about the claimable govern tokens. I also reached out to Vlad about ways that we could have ongoing govern rewards as well for the community. So spent a lot of time working with ideas for combining consortium with Eden Fractal. I think could be really cool. And thanks so much, Vlad, for doing that distribution, enabling Eden Fractal participants to claim govern. I think that's really awesome. I also put together a page, edencreators.com/time, where I made some other proposals about potentially changing the time to make it easier for people to attend, and then also allocating time to better structure the meetings. And then I also spoke with Lisa Chandler about potentially restructuring or retiming this so people who participate in the EOS LEAP meetings can participate in Eden Fractal events because they're at the same time. So I shared some thoughts there. And I also put together a page, edencreators.com/signals. This is just kind of a first early draft page, but it shows how we can use consortium in real time, basically, to make lots of votes as we go to help us cooperate better than ever before. I'll share more details about that soon. I also started to put together an article called Permissions, talking about, I've been working with Vlad about setting up custom permissions for consortium to make it easier. So that's a very early draft article, and also a very early draft article about sheets, because a couple weeks ago I made a spreadsheet where people could use to make votes. And I think that we can use consortium along with Google spreadsheet kind of interface to provide a lot of signals for the community and make it really helpful. So those are just some early draft articles. I also co-hosted one of the interviews with Patrick with Chris Barnes this week and spoke a lot with Jesse about working with the Eden Fractal. So I co-hosted this one with Patrick, and we spoke with Chris about all the new initiatives with the Eden Chief Delegates, and working with Jesse, met with Jesse for a while yesterday to work on networking to earn initiatives. Also been working with Lisa, who's been doing great work to promote Eden and Eden Fractal. I also did an interview with Tadas about the new Eden plus Fractal process this week. And I'm launching a new podcast called Creator Talk, and Tadas will be the first participant, or the first episode here. I made some cool branding with a little surfer dude there. And then I made a web page, edencreators.com/plus, or edencreators.com/Eden plus Fractal, where I explain what the Eden plus Fractal process is, made some cool art for it, and curated some of the resources that Tadas had previously shared about this new process. So there's quite a bit here. I worked on this for a lot yesterday. And then I also worked on a page for Albedo, which is another project that Tadas is working on that is really cool. You can check it out at edencreators.com/Albedo, and that has curated resources. And I updated some of the other pages that I had going to make a much more kind of comprehensive website experience, where the articles I think are quite nice, and they link to other articles below. So there's several articles that explain all these consensus processes and things that we're working on. And then in addition, I also participate in many of the meetings that Joshua hosts on the Go Fractally site, and talk about Eden Fractal and Fractal there. Those go on every Tuesday, or every weekday rather, 18 UTC, and everybody's welcome to join to learn more about these processes. And I also spoke about Eden Fractal and EOS quite a bit at the most recent Genesis Fractal meeting on Saturday. And then also the Alien Worlds Fractal too. We talked a bit about Eden as there. So thanks, Duane, for hosting that, and thanks everybody for participating, stuff like that. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you. Sorry if that went a bit long. I usually set a timer, but I forgot to do that, so I'm not sure if I went too long that time.
Couldn't have done it faster. Okay, who's next? Anybody, like I already got the EOS accounts from most of the people that have it in their account. Bruno, Extra, and who else? Oh, did we miss one? No. Bruno and Extra, I don't have your EOS accounts yet. We need the EOS accounts for the, yeah, awesome, for the voting ranking.
Oh, I think I know Bruno now. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure who you were,
That's
but
pretty amazing. Yeah. Oh, geez, in the house.
Yes, cool. Thank you.
Okay, now I'm excited. Bruno, what's your contributions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Hey, sorry guys. Yeah, right now I'm just being a stay-at-home dad. I'm just kind of fly on the wall today.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining.
But I am really looking forward to tying all these chains together under one brand or one roof or one community. This is really exciting, guys.
Yep, agreed.
Absolutely.
Okay, how are we on time, Dan? Like, How much time do we have for introductions, and how much time do we then have left for building consensus on the ranking?
Yeah, so in total, we have a half hour left, or like 31 minutes left. And,
Okay, cool.
And during this time, we need to both reach consensus about contributions and then reach consensus about a delegate as well. So I'd suggest that we try to reach consensus about the contributions within, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes. We'll have at least 15 minutes to discuss who should be the delegate. So perhaps if Brokendollz or Extra would like to, or if you guys would like to go next and share a bit of introduction or some of your contributions.
Yeah, I can go. Okay, first of all, I'm glad to be here. It's my first time, still trying to understand everything. I'm Brokendollz. My name is Ohad. I'm from Tel Aviv, doing graphic design for about 25 years, been in crypto for about 10 years, and I'm doing wax for almost 2 years. I think it's very interesting because my take here is very different than, I guess, most of you, because I mostly do art and wax, and I also started, after the Nifty Block convention, I met Martin and a couple of other guys from EOS and started thinking about doing stuff on EOS. The thing is, I've got a lot of experience in advertising. I've been working in very big firms. I don't know if anybody heard about McCann Erickson. It's like worldwide. I'm there for about 15 years, and recently I've started showing them NFTs. And I think this whole space needs to have a change of mind a little bit, because, and I'm talking about the wax perspective, and the wax perspective, I think it's a bit different than what I'm hearing about EOS right now, because it's more the connection between real life and Web 2 to Web 3 is more shown in wax right now, I think, because it's more gamer collectible oriented and less techy. I mean, it is the same, it is Antelope, but most like front-end users don't see that and will never see that on wax. So that's something I've been trying to show local advertising companies, and it's kind of working out. We're having a test out after now. We just finished holiday season in Israel, so next week I'm to meet with them, and we are starting to make a plan for a local brand, sort of like a Bamba. I don't know if you heard of it. It's like Cheetos. Trying to show them like a simulation about how an NFT would work. So what I basically do is open a collection on the testnet and like make all the designs and everything, and just for the showcase, show it to them. And I think there is a big opportunity. Everybody's talking about markets and apps and DEX and all of that, and that's amazing. But nobody's talking about the strength of reach. NFTs has a humongous ability to reach people. And when I show the people that are used to pay-per-click, that they pay for somebody visiting a banner, I'm saying, listen, this is the other way around. People buy your banner to show it to their friends, and something clicked over there. So I've been working hard on that. I'm also doing Comic-Con Birmingham next month in Birmingham, UK. Me and another project drawing company, we're having he actually convinced them to give us a free booth, and it's like a £1,000 booth or something like that, because we're gonna do metaverse education throughout wax, through small creators. That's basically, it's gonna be something like that. We have lots of creators with us, some big, some small, even guys from spoke to Max from Alien Worlds on it, and I think it's a great opportunity for everything. And what's happening right now with Antelope, for me, which is a non-techie guy, is amazing, because whenever people come and start asking the questions that are like more blockchain related, that maybe wax is not suitable for, I can in a full heart send them to EOS right now. Because the Antelope, actually, we're at the same place. And the last, I'm gonna post a link for my demo game. It's an alpha version. It's an engine. I think it's gonna be on chain, but it's not a play to earn. It's more like a casual fun thing, and I want to use it to get people to onboard people. That's my main purpose. Onboard people through fun. I want the people who play bubbles on the phone and Candy Crush and all that crap to get on our blockchain. Sorry, I'm really squaring in English sometimes. So that's pretty much it for now. And I also create a lot, so you can you're always invited to my Twitter, check out my stuff, and that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah, super cool. I'm looking at your pages and it looks fascinating. Thanks so much, Brokendollz, for everything you're doing. Super cool. I'm looking forward to exploring this more too. You're welcome, of course. Thank you. Okay, so would actually like to go next, or does anyone have any questions for Brokendollz?
Not for now. I'm sending you some NFTs for sure, for sure. Your wallet on EOS is way too empty. But yeah, it's great to have like these cross-chain initiatives. Like, I can totally second that, and I think having, maybe we can touch upon this a little bit later, but what Alien World is doing, like making these cross-chain communities at the moment and in one kind of environment, is, I think that's great for the community itself. Like on a technical level, we have the IBC coming, which is like by the Antelope Coalition led, but I think the communities need to do a similar move, kind of, right? If it's technically possible, we still need to move the people. And I think there's a lot of chances to do this with NFTs, with NFT communities, games, etc., etc. So yeah. Anyway, we're missing still one person doing the introduction before we can go into discussion.
Assuming that's me, since I haven't gone yet. I'll keep it short so we have enough time to get a consensus and other voting. So, as some of you may know from other meetings and so forth, really my focus through my company, LD2, is really kind of combining, the real world with the digital world. So we developed a precious metals backed token initially on Ethereum, but that was, not very advantageous. And so having known, Duane and Max and those guys and June and all them for years, we decided to migrate, all those smart contracts and everything to Wax initially. We built an EOS version as well, even though now it's Antelope, so it's all kind of the same. And so we started doing, Wax tokens that are backed by physical silver. So you actually buy the silver up front, and then with the Wax tokens, and then you have the silver that you can redeem anytime. Those were fungible tokens, and then we layered on top of that NFTs, and so we started doing physical silver backed NFTs essentially, and those were really kind of like a test and so forth. And in the process of building that platform of how to do NFTs backed by fungible tokens that are backed by physical silver, we started extrapolating that into other kind of use cases. So like, for example, the Alien Worlds Fractally NFTs that Duane creates for all those meetings uses our kind of sister company to create all of those as well. Because we kind of opened it up to Crown and other Wax tokens and so forth. But the real focus has always been kind of, like I said, kind of creating that connection between kind of the digital and the physical, right? And particularly when it comes to NFTs, particularly on Wax, right? I mean, the argument has always been that they're not backed by anything. They're in value, their value is tied to their popularity and so forth, right? And there's no real intrinsic value, let's call it that way, right? And so while we did do like the crown one for Duane, like I said, really the point is to start adding like physical assets like we did with physical silver, and allowing other collectors. So we've had some other NFT creators that have been using our platform to create their NFTs, but then back it with physical silver, for example, right? As kind of a price floor, right? And so you can always, in the worst case scenario, if the NFT price drops, you can always burn the NFT, get the fungible, and then redeem the fungible for the silver. So like I said, we started with wax because my partner had already done some NFTs on wax, even though he quickly got blacklisted. And so that was even more motivation for us to do this from his perspective. And I can see Duane laughing because he knows the story. So anyway, so that's really kind of like our focus, right? So obviously this is my first time on the call. I know Duane introduced me to Eden on EOS, maybe like 6 months ago or so. But I haven't really participated much in these calls and so forth. So anyway, that's kind of my story.
Sounds great. Is this a Liberty dollar that you're talking about?
Yeah. My dad invented Liberty Dollar, so we're LD2, so we're Liberty Dollar too.
Yeah.
So he did a digital version of Liberty Dollar in 2003. Obviously well before Bitcoin. And after his legal problems with the U.S. government and the DOJ, my partner, who was an executive in my dad's company, we came together to create the new version of Liberty Dollar, using the crypto and the blockchain technology. So it's exactly the same model as my father used, except now we're using better technology and more, technology that can be worldwide, right, and can attract people. So yeah. So
yeah, I think digital assets ownership is like way more advanced in the last 10-20 years. So I think it's the right time. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, nobody
stuff.
and all the other like just on that point real quick, Martin, on all the other cryptos and so forth that are supposedly backed by precious metals, you buy the token up front, right?
Yeah,
and then you supposedly own the gold or the silver. Like I said, we use my dad's model, which is the warehouse receipt model, where you buy the asset up front, and then the token is a receipt for your purchase.
Right.
And so when you trade the receipts, the ownership of the asset goes with it. So it's a little bit different model than what a lot of the other cryptos that are supposedly backed by precious metals have used in the past.
Pretty awesome.
So NFTs is just another extrapolation of that.
Yeah.
So
cool. Happy to have you here, man.
Thanks. Glad I joined. And another shout out to Lisa for inviting me.
Yeah, Lisa invited me also, by the way.
Lisa for president.
Yeah. I don't think everybody knows how lucky they are to have Lisa involved.
Get all the votes in the room because she brought all the people anyway.
Right. Yeah. I hope Lisa gets level 6, and I hope she'll get level 6 in many weeks going forward. I'm really happy that she joined last week for the first time, and then she's been sending me messages about how she's inviting all these awesome people, everything. So it's awesome. And then thank you so much, Extra and Brokendollz too. It's really awesome. Like, you guys are doing incredibly interesting and helpful work, and it's really awesome to have you here. So thank you so much.
Cool.
Yes, we have like 17 minutes or so until the end of the room, so I think we should go on to reaching consensus. So basically the way, if anybody has any questions or thoughts you'd like to share first, then of course feel free to jump in. But basically the way we do it is we go into the Zoom chat, And this is typically how we do it. We could potentially do it in different ways, but this seems to be the process that works best. And then we'll go like level 6, and then at the same time, we'll also, somebody will type in level 6, and then you'll write down who you think did the most to help the community and who should be level 6. You write down Martin or Brokendollz or Extra or Duane or Dan or Vlad or whatever, and then you don't hit enter yet, and then we'll ask like, are you ready? Basically, like I give a thumbs up if you're ready. If you have your selection for who you think should be level 6, and then once everybody's ready, then we'll hit the enter button. We'll do a countdown 3, 2, 1, and then we'll hit the enter button, and then we'll see whoever gets the most votes, and then we'll take it from there. We can have conversations from there, and then we repeat that process again with level 5 and level 4 and so forth. Make sense? Okay, cool. Is everybody ready to
maybe we need to clarify that level 6 is the highest level.
Yes.
Maybe to people who are new, they don't know. So from all these introductions, we need to decide right now who was the most valuable to this community, to our community. So we decide on this right now. So everybody can type whatever, and then we find consensus or like based on what we see. Cool.
Yeah, and then we've had some people are really emotional, and I've had some people upset that their contributions weren't valued at the top. So just so we know going forward, just showing up, everyone gets rewarded just for showing up. And this isn't a personal I like you better type of thing. It's supposed to be based on the contributions. So it's nothing, it's not that, you know, Dan's the prettiest guy and we like him the best. You know, it's about contributions.
Just one more question, and Duane, I know we've had this conversation before on the other meetings. Are people voting for themselves or not?
Yeah,
I know we've gone back and
I
forth on the other Fractally meetings about whether, and I know some of the calls some of the weeks we did vote for ourselves and some we didn't. So just want to clarify that one point.
I'm open to voting for yourselves, and the guys, sometimes the louder people, you know, always pitch for themselves, and I think it's a good process week after week for people to step up and be proud of what they've done. So I'm in for voting for yourself.
Yeah, I am too. I just want to clarify before we started voting, because I know like I said, we'd gotten into that in previous weeks and so forth in previous meetings. So okay.
Yep, good question. Thanks, Extra. And yeah, I'm also good with people voting for themselves too, so I think we can proceed that way. And also thanks Martin and Duane for the extra explanation as well. And yeah, I completely agree. What Duane is saying is important to remember, and it's also kind of a long-term thing too. So over time, people can get more levels each week. So, and everybody's greatly appreciated, and everybody's contribution is greatly appreciated. Okay, is everybody ready for to pick level 6?
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Cool, there's a lot of Dan.
Okay.
Hey guys, do you want me to vote? Because I'm not actually an official member of Eden. Do I have to be an official member of Eden to vote?
You don't need to be.
You don't need to be.
You go ahead, Martin. Okay, so I'll go. You don't need to be a member of Eden on EOS to vote. Although I guess for the purposes, because you showed up later, Bruno, and there's only 6, I suppose we should only probably count the votes of us 6. But feel free to vote and share your thoughts, and we can count it unofficially, I suppose, is the best way to go forward. Do you think that sounds good, Martin?
Well, we should also decide about who are the candidates, because we can only vote for 6 people, but with 7 on the call. So yeah. As I said earlier, I'm happy to step down. I'm super happy to have new people here, and they should have the experience. So yeah, I would even though you said you want to be a fly on the wall, Bruno, I think you should run, earn some respect, baby. So yeah, go for it, vote. I will stay abstinent and help you guys to reach consensus, because I have some things to contribute vocally. I won't vote then, okay?
Are you sure, Martin? Because you were here early
Yeah.
and
No,
you're on camera and stuff,
very,
and you gave a
I'm very
presentation.
sure.
Oh,
I'm very
okay.
sure. For me, this is more about the experience than getting the rewards. So I can be the moderator of this. I see a lot of Dan here already. I personally voted for Duane Filippi. My vote doesn't count from now on, but I wanted to highlight that Duane is doing some great stuff, going cross communities, and I think that's the way we need to grow. As Broken already touched upon, like we go cross chain soon. And going not for, I know Dan is focusing a lot on Eden Fractally and Eden, but like going really cross communities, different games, different DAOs and DACs is the way we need to grow and introduce the process. That's why I voted for Duane, because that's a pretty unique contribution that I see from his side. But yeah, that's my 2 cents from now. But I think first rank number 6, we got Dan as the winner, and we can move on with rank number 5.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. And yeah, there's lots more we could discuss here, but we are on kind of a short timeline. We only have about 13-12 minutes left or so to do both the 1 through 6 and then ranking and then electing a delegate too. So thank you everybody for the respect. And yeah, I suppose we can move on now.
Cool. I already typed rank number 5. I give everyone 10 seconds time to type in who they want to rank at the second most valuable player in our little team. And I'm going to do the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go vote. Can't vote for Dan again because he's already voted.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, Brokendollz. He's already ranked 6, so Brokendollz can, yeah, Vlad, okay, coming in. Vlad, seems like there's a clear vote for Vlad, except Vlad not voting for himself. Vlad, are you accepting to be ranked number 5?
Yes.
Okay, very nice. So we move forward to rank number 4. Give everybody some time to decide.
This is super difficult.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a little bit more time then. But I'm going to count down now, and then we can still see where everybody's at. 3, 2, 1, go. It seems very, yeah, okay. There we see Duane is in the lead. Anybody that voted not for Duane wants to dispute that Duane is number 4, rank number 4?
Well, Duane's only got 3 so far, and there's 1 for Bruno, 1 for Extra, and 1 for Brokendollz. Duane voted for Brokendollz. This is difficult because I think that all you guys are doing amazing contributions as well. And Martin made great points advocating for Duane. Duane does excellent work, but then there's also 3 new people here who I really want to respect and are doing amazing work. So I don't know exactly what to do. Do you have any thoughts, Duane?
Oh, I think we got consensus. Vlad changed his vote, but I did want to say, Brokendollz, we've gone down the path of trying to integrate companies into this new space, and I know it's not recognized how much time and hand-holding that takes, and that's what's going to break open the space. We have a small space of like really passionate people, but breaking it open to those bigger companies. And I support you. Need any help on that venture? That's incredible to get like an advertising company and a brand to understand that. And then I can't wait to see like that next engagement when they finally click over and go, oh wow, that person can give me feedback. You know what I mean? They can just say, which flavor of Cheetos do I like best? And then he gets something. So, you know, give them an NFT first, but the whole, yeah, I think it's, yeah, hats off. And I just all your creations. Yeah, nice job.
Thanks a lot, mate. Thanks a lot.
Just to clarify, we got a consensus on Duane in rank number 4 then? Okay, so we're going to rank number 3. Everybody holds the hands. And it's 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, Bruno Vlad has already been selected at level 5. So Bruno, do you want to change to somebody else?
And we also have like a discrepancy here. Extra is also extra. No, okay, sorry.
So it looks like Brokendollz has 3 right now. Bruno has 1. Bruno has 2 rather, and Extra has 1. I voted Extra. I really appreciate everything that Extra's doing, and then also getting to know him at the Alien World Fractal. So I have a bit more insight into what Extra's doing. Although I've also been following Bruno's work for a long time, and Brokendollz Work seems awesome. So I'm happy to go either way. If we'd like to reach consensus quickly, I can change my vote to Brokendollz. I'm happy to do that. Does anybody have any thoughts? Time is of the essence because in addition to this, we have to elect the delegate. So if nobody has any thoughts, then I suppose I'll change it to Brokendollz. But really, it's just because of timing, and I think what you guys are doing is both awesome.
Yeah, I suggest everyone checks out what Extra's done. All the work you've done was incredible. And then just to re-emphasize, in case people didn't understand, any NFT collection can now back their NFT on Wax with silver. So, and small amounts if you want, 0.1 or what have you. So pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and you can check out the website at ld2coin.io to learn more. I'll share it in the chat.
Definitely need to learn more about this.
Okay, I changed my vote to Brokendollz, and I think that means that Brokendollz has consensus for level 3, and we can go to level 2.
Pretty much, that is correct. So we have now Bruno and Extra, last 2. Rank number 2. Make your calls. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, it looks like there's
All right.
consensus on Extra, and also
Yes.
to I really appreciate what Bruno's doing around the community in general. Part of it is just that Bruno also came later and hasn't been on camera, and didn't share what he has done recently, because I know he's been busy with parenting and everything like that important. But that was also part of the decision process, and of course, Extra's doing awesome work. So.
All right, and we are room number 3.
3, yes.
Yeah.
Can you guys confirm these rankings with me?
Looks correct to me.
Very good. So we need to put them into the.
Yes, and we also need to elect the delegate in 5 minutes too.
Yes. So it's not automatically that the delegate is also the level number 6, correct?
Yes, it can be different. It can be anybody.
I have a little bit of feedback on the delegate. Last week was a tough delegate decision, and Dan was up against was it
Jesse?
Was Jesse, right? And Jesse got the top spot, and I just wanted to. I promised for the next meeting that I'd let people know that Dan really wanted to get into the spot. He's the guy that's manages all these meetings, and everybody. I want to see Vlad on there. Vlad's made an incredible amount of tools, but I promised that group that I'd send the message that I'd really strongly urge people to get Dan elected, because he emphasized that he really wanted to be in that position, and he's done a lot of work. You know what I mean? He's pretty passionate about this. If you look at everything he's done for this specific Eden Fractal, he's the driver of it. So I don't want to lessen the amount of work that Vlad has done to make the actual tool we're working, and everybody else, but I did promise that I'd mention that hey, that was a tough one last week that Dan didn't get in, and we all saw Jesse's the advantage of Jesse of bridging communities. So I'm just saying I don't want to influence a vote, but I just want to I said I'd make sure I pass that message on.
Thank you, Duane. Although just to be
You
clear,
still feel the same way?
Yeah.
Duane,
So,
it
but
does sound like you're trying to influence the vote. I mean, that sounded like a stump speech.
thank you, Duane. I'll make it clear too. So I was a delegate last week. So Jesse was ranked level 6. He got a higher rank and more respect that week. But I was also the delegate there. And the way that this works,
okay.
yes. And the way that this works, just to provide a very brief intro, is we do elections every week. And then the people who get elected as delegates form councils and they basically serve for 4 weeks on the council where they have some governance power. There's not really any formal power right now, but it's kind of like a signaling way. So it's kind of like electing some leaders to help make decisions for the next 4 weeks, basically. That's essentially what we're doing when we're electing delegates.
So forget everything I've said. You're already in there.
I am. Although you can be in there twice too. So I would be happy to be in there twice. And that just gives you kind of 2 times more signaling power, basically. But also, I know like Vlad, yourself, and Martin have been here for a while, like following. So if you guys are interested in being delegates too, then that would be cool. But we only have a couple minutes to decide. So who is interested in being a delegate?
I'm interested. There's a couple of things that I would work on with other delegates. One is working on the Eden token, making it transferable and setting up it on an exchange. Then working on the structure for the post-breakout rooms. Then on the purpose of Eden Fractal and like more on the vision, and also on the clearer marketing message so that we could attract even more people.
Thank you, Vlad.
Guys,
Great
I need to
pitch.
drop off in a bit. Can we, is everybody aware of how the Eden Fractal front web app works from the new ones?
I believe so. Duane just shared the link. It's pretty straightforward. You just log in with Anchor. Once we select the delegate, then we'll add the delegate's account at the top, and then you just like Martin, rank 6 account names.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
Might be an easy vote.
Is anybody else interested? So I'll just share a response there. I think that Vlad has great vision, and I love what Vlad's doing in so many ways, although I know a lot of community members, including myself, are apprehensive about making the Eden token transferable because that potentially brings liabilities. So that's one thing that makes me hesitant to vote for Vlad. I would be more cautious about that if I were a delegate, and I'd be happy to do it. Also, if Duane wants to be a delegate too, that might be an interesting thing as well, or Martin, or are you guys interested in being delegates?
Not for this round.
Okay. Martin, are you interested in being a delegate?
No time. Sorry. Later on, I can do this. Maybe.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we only have a couple minutes left. That's basically my one concern with Vlad's, but I think that Vlad will be open to working with that too. I'm not sure how Vlad feels about it. And also, this is just a signaling tool, so it's not like totally 100% whatever somebody says is going to happen too. So I'm happy to go either way, really. Would you guys like to elect Vlad as a delegate, or me, or anybody else, or any thoughts?
Let's vote in the chat.
I mean, my feeling would be like, Dan, if you're already a delegate, then better to give it to somebody else. Just to get different voices. And so, if it's the same person, and I'm just speaking generally, right? Not about you, Dan, specifically, but I think that my perspective would be better to get new voices in and different voices in, as delegates, just so that there are more difference of opinions, if you will, or more opinions, in the conversation, So that would be my, mainly my reason that I would vote for Vlad.
Okay.
Potential other reasons. How are the current delegates? Are they developers? Are there enough developers in the conversation? Because it's always important to kind of have a developer there see if whatever the other delegates are talking about, if this is realistic and what would be the work effort there.
Yep. So far, it's just myself, Tadas, and Patrick who have been elected as the first 3 delegates.
Okay.
And Patrick and Tadas both have development experience.
Okay. But
Okay.
if you, again, if you're already there, then let's bring Vlad on. Super happy for that.
I'm happy with that. Yep. I'll vote for Vlad.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. It looks like
Dope.
Vlad's got it. And Vlad, good luck.
Thank you.
Nice.
Cool.
So we got to put his wallet address at the form.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah. So right at the top where it says delegate, add Vlad's ES account, and then below put group number 3, and then put the names in the order.
Your wallet is just Dan?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh my God.
I count. Yes.
That's a baller.
Yes.
Baller.
Okay, cool. And yeah, we're a couple minutes over now. So I'll close the breakout rooms. They'll end in 60 seconds.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Great meeting, guys. Thanks
Yeah,
so
it was
much.
great.
Very interesting.
Have a good day, guys.
Thanks, you too, Bruno.
It gives me an error message that saying that the Vlad account doesn't exist. Do you get that?
No, did you type in Vladislav.x?
Yeah, I just copied it from the.
I've done it many times and it works. So I don't know why you'd be giving an account. It's always worked for me.
I'll try copy pasting it from here. Ah. No shit. Oh, okay, okay.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the community room. Hope everybody had a great meeting.
The first dog member of Eden is here.
There's an
Might
Eden
not
dog
be-
here.
He might not be the first, but he's listening.
Cool. Yes. Well, hello, Lisa's Eden dog, and nice to meet you. And thank you, Lisa, for bringing your dog. So there's been a lot of discussion in the community about structuring these hour after the breakout room. So yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed the breakout room for the past hour or so. Sorry it went a couple minutes over. And we're working on a time figured out, and with the extra delegation, there was a bit of confusion, and with new members. So yeah, but there's been a lot of discussion in the community about using this hour after breakout rooms for proposals, because a lot of proposals that the community wants to consider and pass to help structure these meetings and make next steps and so forth. So the general idea that it seems like the community is in favor of is having this hour set up for discussing proposals, and then after this hour at 14 UTC or 14:15 UTC, then it can be more of like an open, free-form conversation. But also, since there's several new people too, I'd be curious if anybody wants to share their experiences or share any thoughts before we get into the proposals, or should we get into proposals right away?
I'd love to share just a quick experience. My first attending at one of these events, and I just really respect and appreciate how the kind of "what have you done for me lately" aspect of the respect and the ranking was demonstrated in our room, which is fantastic. Where it was like, "Hey, Luke, great to have you here," but you know, it's not about what you've done in the past, it's about what you're doing now for specifically for Eden Fractally. And I loved that. I really had a great experience. It was great to get a quick update on what is going on from the people in our room. And I just want everyone to know my lack of engagement has not been because I don't deeply respect and honor what's being done here. It's more that I've just pulled back from everything. I'm more kind of taking a sabbatical, hanging out with my family and stuff. So I just want to commend everyone who's been working hard behind the scenes on all of this, because I really do believe these are tools for a world we all want to live in. So thank you all.
Thanks so much, Luke. Really appreciate it.
And yeah, quick comments, I guess, real quick. So I put a timer up for 40 minutes. That will get us to the top of the hour. So yeah, I think it would be nice to see we talk about proposals and of how we would like to use this next hour. So ideally, I think probably let's raise our hands and then let's probably set a timer of 3 minutes each to talk, and then we can like just go from there, pass it on, so that like no one's going longer than 3 minutes at a time. And if everyone's cool with that, we can do that, or I don't know, but I think yeah, so we can hopefully have some type of structure going into next week, which will be the first week that the council will actually be able to vote on proposals.
Before getting into proposals, I'd just like to provide an opportunity to ask if Seth, if you'd like to share any thoughts. It's your first time here, we really appreciate it. Or if anybody else new would like to share any thoughts. I know that Lisa invited a bunch of new people, so if anybody would like to share any words to the whole community, then that would be cool. But if not, then we can just get in proposals, and there's a lot to discuss too. There were several different mechanisms of proposals that were proposed, or there were several different mechanisms of structuring the meeting that were proposed. So I made a proposal, or I made several proposals on about scheduling this time. Basically, I think that using consortium is a really helpful thing, and so I made a couple proposals about using consortium. And then I know Tadas also made a proposal about how we can schedule this time, and Vlad did as well, and I think Felix did in the Discord as well. So I think perhaps as we're getting these mechanisms figured out, like I suppose I just encourage everybody to be patient a little bit, because it might be a little bit messy, but over time we'll improve these processes and so forth. Would anybody like to share any ideas about proposals first?
Yeah, I guess I can go real quick. So I start at 38. I'll try to end at 35. So yeah, I'll just talk about what I have. Let me pull it up. So I posted in the Discord an itinerary for the post hour. So at 14 UTC, that's ideally where we start the second part of the see, now it's screwing up my timer. Here, one sec. Okay. Hopefully that works. So yeah, so 14 UTC, that's like for the first 5 minutes, that I think would be a good time for like a short summary of the proposals that we're going to be discussing in that following hour. And then I propose that we have like 3 time slots available, broken up into 15 minutes. And so these time slots ideally can be spent on each proposal. So maybe 3 proposals at a time, or however, whoever's allocated that time slot to talk about a certain topic. It can be a topic, proposal, whatever, but that's the idea. So at 14:05 UTC, that's time slot number 1, 14:20, time slot 2, 14:35, time slot 3. And then with 10 minutes remaining, that's when the council will vote on proposals. And then any proposals that aren't voted on is then passed on to the next meeting on a rolling list. So that's what I posted on Discord. You can see more information there. I tried to post onto consortium, but I didn't have any governed tokens, so it didn't work. But the idea is mainly that that like during these time slots, we talk about the proposal. So whoever's proposing it obviously pitches it, but then also leave some time for the community to talk about it, so that the council can get there can be some feedback, so the council can have an idea of like how they want to choose to vote, and hear the community before they cast their votes at the end of the hour. So yeah, okay, and I got like 50 seconds, so I guess if anyone has any questions, or I could just pass that on to whoever wants to go next to talk about their proposals.
Yeah, thanks, Felix. And one thing that I want to make more of an announcement than talking about proposal, but it's quite related to proposals, and it's quite related to what Felix was saying about not having enough governed tokens to vote on consortium. So yeah, currently consortium makes it where you have to have govern in order to make a proposal. Something that Vlad did this week, and I've been talking with Vlad about, is Vlad created there's a consortium kind of a claiming feature where people can claim tokens if they're Eden members, and Vlad basically made it so that everybody who participated in past Eden Fractal meetings, there's been 49 people, can each claim 1 million govern tokens. This is quite a significant amount of govern tokens. There's a total supply of about 180 million, or going up to 230 million. So people who participated in past events can get a bunch of govern tokens, so you can vote for it, and then also have more alignment and so forth with consortium. And I'll share a link. I don't know if Vlad would like to share anything about that. I think it's a really awesome announcement, and it brings together consortium and Eden Fractal. I'm also working with Vlad about ways we could have continuing and ongoing govern rewards for Eden Fractal participants. But yeah, I'll share my proposals about consortium in a moment, but I wanted to make the announcement and say a huge thanks to Vlad. I think that's awesome and super helpful.
Tadas, it looks like you're next if you want to go.
Yeah, but yeah, so I can introduce my proposals. Basically, the issue I see with alternative proposals about the structure of a meeting is that I'm not sure if they are flexible enough. Like I think some weeks it might make sense to have an after meeting where we have I don't know, discuss only one proposal for like 40 minutes and only one vote. On other weeks it might make sense to discuss and pass 3 proposals. On another we might want to have free-form discussion and not pass any proposals. And so yeah, I was aiming for something which is simple and provides structure, but allows for flexibility as well. And so yeah, this is what I came up with. I just posted it in a chat. Yeah, so basically it's any Eden Fractal member can create a consortium poll where he describes the agenda for next meeting, and when Eden Fractal token holders vote on vote on those kind of polls, and basically proposal which gathers the most token holder support wins, and we simply follow that agenda during the next meeting. So does anyone have any questions, or who wants to go next?
I'll mention something if no one's going. I'm not seeing all the hands. I'll just be brief because you've all heard me say this probably, and if you haven't, forgive me, please reach out. But perhaps E is for EOS and also for Ike. So hopefully those who are interested in applying governance in a real life situation, which literally came out of some of the earliest EOS team members, please come play Alien Worlds and take over Planet Ike on behalf of EOS, and consider creating and doing worker proposals for Trillium to support EOS projects, and for Ideathon EOS to support Planet projects, and use this as an opportunity to continue the experiments and governance and learn to do the right things and create resources for people who want to do more DAO-like activity and help to govern and distribute resources to people. There's a lot to figure out, and I, for one, am compelled to ask our longtime governance experts and thinkers from the EOS community to come over and help us play this historic game. So, and also thank you all for coming today, whether I invited you or not, but it's been great to be able to welcome many of our friends together. And we haven't had a DAC-a-thon in a while, so this is sort of like a mini DAC-a-thon in a way to bring people together. And please feel free to keep connecting with everyone, because it's a very exciting time, and literally everyone has unique skills and experiences that we can all benefit from at this time. And we'll probably all need each other in the coming months in various ways. So thank you for all being here.
Thank you, Lisa. Tadas, I'll address yours with my hand raised. I know I'm just trying to like be a signifier of time. So like 30 minutes. So ideally 20, like if we could, at 30 minutes or like 27. I know this might be eating into Vlad's, but obviously this is loose. I'm just wanting to be like, hey, 3 minutes, just as a signifier so people know like what we're talking about. So I just wasted 20 seconds. So sorry, Vlad, I'll let you go.
Thanks, Felix, and thank you, Lisa.
Yeah, so
Vlad?
who's next? Vlad?
I think Vlad's next year.
Yeah, so I also had a proposal for how to structure the meeting post breakout rooms. I think it would be good if first, let's say 15 minutes would be spent on just announcements, giving updates that are concern of everybody. After that, we could move on just with the councils, who will discuss the existing proposals and vote on them, and do it just one by one. So the order in which they could vote on the proposals could be determined in consortium. So during the week, the Eden token holders can vote, and the most popular proposals would appear on top. And to do that for an hour maximum. So if there are less time needed, then they can finish earlier. If there is more time needed, then all the remaining polls would be brought forward for the next week. And after that 1 hour, it's just free discussion, just like we are having right now, without structure. And in regards to Tadas's proposal, I just think that there's not going to be so many proposals for different agendas each week. So most likely there will be just one person submitting the agenda, and just seeing the participation so far of voting, which is really small, I think that wouldn't work very well. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Vlad. Jesse?
Hey, everyone. I'd like to use my time. I've been chatting with Brokendollz and private DM, and I kind of want to open it up with the broader proposal of potentially having 2 rooms in this main room for like Eden inductions, and to talk about this whitelisting problem that Brokendollz has acknowledged that it is a big problem out there on Atomic Hub and these other marketplaces. And Brokendollz asked, what is the definition of a whitelist, by the way? Well, whitelists can have many forms. You could be a holder of an NFT that gets you on the whitelist. You can do an action on social media that can get you on the whitelist. The issue with this is that it's very labor intensive for community members. They have to do an action every single time you do a drop. They have to get this, and the NFT, yeah, that's a better solution. But then they have to, for every collection, they have to buy an NFT to get on the whitelist. Maybe they just want a free drop. Maybe they don't have the money to spend. So what we're proposing here with Eden is our specialty is verifying unique humans. And we've been working very hard for over a year on an onboarding process to get people, we get issued an NFT. This is a sophisticated system built by Dan Larimer that the community has taken over. So what I would like to help, like you and other NFT creators, is you can send your community members, if we want to pool all these creators into one giant whitelist, decentralized whitelist, and you can bring them here and we can get them inducted. We can verify that they're humans. And then there's technical, there's scripts, there's technical solutions that Eden teams have built that these marketplaces can implement. So we want to talk to the marketplaces. I just love to hear your feedback. Do you think this is a good solution? Do you have relationships? Yeah.
First of all, 100%. As of now, there is no real way for when I say regular creator without a dev department behind him to make free drops that will not end up in bots. The only way to do it right now is through proof of ownership via Nifty blocks, and NFT Hive's got it also, and I think Wax DAO added that. But it's basically the same thing as you said. You need an NFT from that collection. What people have started thinking about is maybe just picking collections that are popular enough, but are not basically are not games that anybody can get, that would show some way of proving that's a real person. But yeah, if we had a list like that, or a way to, I don't know, the technicals, to make that happen, it would be a big change, because it's pretty much it. Or I do direct drops to the with bounty blocks, and that's not, it's something I don't like doing, because that's it's a bit intrusive, you know. It's like I'm sending,
it's very labor intensive.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure that everybody wants that right now, and I don't use it. I you know, for my community, it's easy. If you own any of my NFTs, you'll get that, you know, that's your proof of ownership for some of the stuff. If it's let's say a campaign or a gamified something that, you know, collect this, get this, it's totally different. But that pool of whitelist people, it's pure gold for creators, actually.
Awesome. You know, so do you want to do an induction right now? Would you like to join Eden? It'd take less than 5 minutes.
Well, I'm not sure. This is
okay.
This is my first time.
So let's talk. I think maybe.
You know what, can I add, before you jump into that, can I just add, like, for those who don't know, and it's so great to see you in person, by the way, Broken, because we're always chatting instead. Hey. But he's everywhere in all the chats and all the communities, hugely respected, aware of everything that's going on, like super informed, right? And
you're making me blush.
Yeah, I know, but like I want everyone to know, because like everyone here is like really expert in different ways and various, so I want them to know and understand, like, this is exactly who, you know, they should talk to figure this out. And also I wanted to mention that every time, like I put in the chat, every time I ever made a whitelist of any sort, the bot creators would join. Like they would even write into our customer support and say, hey, I'm false flagged, right? That was their term they like to use. But basically it, like, if there's any way that a human can do it, somebody who is acting as thousands of people or hundreds of people can also do it. So having, you know, it makes a big deal if there's a way, and it may not be for all aspects of gameplay, right? Because to me, this idea means that you can identify people when you need to, right? And not when you don't. And if you can identify someone as acting as thousands of players or hundreds of players, you can put them on a play path where they can do that. You can create a game for bots and a play path for bots. And many games, I've noticed some on ETH, Dark Forest, I think it is, who do this. And that way, if you have those skills to do that, you can play and get resources for playing those paths. So this allows, it's not just stopping bots, it's understanding the communities and paths and then allowing the creators to make gameplay for those paths. So it's not necessarily like oppressive for bot creators, right? It just means that your terms of use as a game creator can extend to beyond just a single human player, which makes it better because for the individual human players, because they get to play their own path for the most part.
Have a feedback. Jesse, I really appreciate how you've really made the marketing of this really simple. The networking to earn, going to use that and use that and push that. I love that you're the whitelist. I was level 2 delegate, which means I'm getting some EOS. I'm going to put my EOS to support someone that'll make a tool that'll even extend that more. So if we're bringing people from Wax, that somehow that Wax account is associated with your Eden account, pre-IBC. IBC is coming, but we can do that right now. So I'm going to support the creation of a free EOS account if you're coming from Wax, and someone will connect that. We'll find the devs to do it. And Brokendollz, the process to get yourself an EOS NFT right now that shows that you're an Eden member, that accreditates yourself. It'd be awesome to get you through that, and I'm available anytime right after this meeting, and Jesse and us, a few people can induct you, and you'll see the process. And
Thanks.
Just for you to see it, then you'll kind of see, hey, does this make sense for your community?
Thanks, mate. Cool.
Yeah, I want to be on that induction. Okay, everyone bid if you want to be on that. No, just kidding.
All right, excellent. Well, yeah, thank you so much, Jesse and Duane and Brokendollz and Lisa and everybody from the Wax community. And I agree, this is like, there's a lot of great synergy here between Eden and Alien Worlds and Wax games and so forth. And I think Jesse also mentioned in the beginning a kind of a proposal, perhaps an informal proposal, to start up a second breakout room. Is that correct, Jesse? That I think it'd be a good idea at some point to have it where we have 2 different rooms, perhaps one with proposal focus, and then one perhaps with more focusing on welcoming new members and so forth.
Yes, I think that would be good.
Don't forget, we have tomorrow too. Duane, what are we doing tomorrow?
It's going to be the Alien Worlds Fractal, and then live on inducting people, and tomorrow's a historic day with elections on Alien Worlds. So I support your Ike. I'll be going up for Ike, supporting EOS, and the thank you. I just don't want to take the conversation over, because I so appreciate Felix us keeping time and keeping this really an awesome meeting afterwards. But bringing the EOS community, it's not bringing just the EOS community over to Wax and Alien Worlds. It's us coming over to EOS and using all these tools. So we have all these incredible tools that we need. So it's going to be a win-win-win. So yeah, come join us.
9 a.m. Pacific.
Yes, absolutely. The Alien Worlds Fractal, 9 a.m. Pacific, or 16 UTC every Thursday. Duane hosts it. It's an awesome event.
We could do some inductions after that too, if needed, if people want more time to study.
Can I ask a question about something small? I don't know if it's the right place to ask that. I found that the easiest way to onboard people to any EOS, like if the envelope's gonna be transparent between the whole blockchains, like the easiest way to onboard people is through the Proton wallet, because they sell, you can buy direct, with credit card. Is there another way of doing that in an EOS blockchain that I'm not aware of?
Yes, the Wombat wallet is a free EOS account.
Oh, the Wombat, right. Yeah, I actually met those guys. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, Anchor as well. You can pay in app to create an account for $2.
Okay, just the web of, I think, Proton was just so simple that I was like, because I can literally put any token in it, and I was like, I want to move that to Wax or EOS. But okay, thanks.
All right.
I did invite Saeed, but I don't think he saw it.
You did what, but you don't think he saw it? Sorry, I misheard you.
I did invite Saeed from Proton, but I don't think he saw it.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Saeed does amazing work with blocks and Proton. So thank you very much for that, Lisa. All right. So some comments here, and I'll try to be brief. First off, I'm in favor of Jesse's proposal to separate breakout rooms. I think we could probably play it by ear, and depending on how many new people there are and so forth. But I think that's a good idea, so we can both be welcoming to new participants at the same time, also be able to be focused on proposals. So I think that's a great idea, and I would encourage Jesse to make a proposal about that so everybody can deliberate that over the next week, and then perhaps we can do it next week. We could just do it informally, I guess, and we don't really need an official proposal. But I think that I'd be interested to hear other people's opinions, because it seems like a good thing in general. So regarding proposals, first, just to provide a little bit of context. So Tadas and Vlad both shared their proposals that are both very interesting proposals in the past 24 hours or so. And so I think that it might be unrealistic for us to pick, one method that's gonna be perfect right now, and we're on a short timeline, but I'd encourage everybody to look at all these proposals and then consider, and we can keep getting more structured in future meetings, and we can be our best to be structured now. I'm also curating resources, so I'll share my screen. And I'll just show a couple of things that I've been creating. So you're able to see my screen now, right, with Consortium? Yep. Correct? Okay, cool, thanks. Okay, cool. So yeah, this is edencreators.com/consortium, which has some proposals that I made about Consortium, as well as a breakdown about Consortium. So if you're interested in learning more, you can scroll down. I'll probably reorganize this in the future, but it basically explains what Consortium is. It's a voting application. It's a signaling tool that it's all on chain, all on EOS, and it makes it easy for people to make proposals for Eden and for also other communities. There's lots of benefits to Consortium. So, and I've been working with Vlad for a long time. Vlad is the main, or I suppose, lead developer, along with Linar. So people can check out these pages to learn more about Consortium, and I'll also add Vlad's proposal and Tadas's proposal here. Actually, I'll do my best to curate it so everybody can read it all in one spot. I made over the past week, I think, 4 proposals for Consortium. So one is just a general, should we use Consortium as a signaling tool for Eden? So far, there's been 6 people voted on this as far as I voted, and they voted with 2000 Eden, which is something like 25% of the total Eden. I think it's just a great tool to use as a signaling tool because it's on chain and because it's supporting a tool that a lot of us are excited about, and there's so many benefits of it. I also wrote another proposal, should we post all proposals on Consortium? So I write a little bit of the reason here. It increases the transparency, immutability, and trustlessness proposals, and it helps clarify thought and helps each voter understand the proposal more precisely. So we can post proposals in advance so people have time to prepare, especially delegates or all voters can ask people during the meetings what they think of proposals. There's links here too, so you can click and then go to the Consortium poll and vote there. And I also made a proposal, should we prioritize proposals with more votes on Consortium during meetings? As Vlad was saying, the Consortium interface, if you check it out, then it ranks the top or ranks polls according to how many votes it has. So if you go to the Eden Fractal one, you can see the top one has 2000 Eden, then you scroll down, it has 2000 Eden, and then when you scroll down more, it has less. It rounds to 2000 Eden, so they all look pretty similar, but then it goes to 1000 Eden, 1000 Eden, and so forth. So that could provide a good system for us to organize proposals, but also Tadas had some great ideas too. I wrote some feedback for Tadas that I'll share in chat. I feel like doing it over text might be a little bit more efficient. And then I also made a proposal too at edencreators.com/time where about changing the start time of the breakout rooms. This isn't necessarily a super high priority, but I think that being that we did the new that we're doing the Eden plus Fractal process and takes 55 minutes as opposed to 40 minutes now, it might make sense to change it to 13 UTC or 14 UTC. And if we change it to 14 UTC, I spoke with Lisa about this, it would enable people who currently go to the EOS meetings. There's a bunch of great engineers, about 12 people who attend these meetings every week at 13 UTC. So that would enable us to invite people who join these meetings. So those are some proposals. I don't necessarily expect that we'll pass these this week, but I think that we should consider them. And I'm happy to answer any questions. And if we can pass them next week, some of them, I think that would be great. Also, just to follow up on what I said before about consortium claiming, if you go to consortium.vote/claim, then you can see this page where you can claim lots of tokens. And one of the things you can do is claim the Eden Fractal founders. If you've been here as of last week, then you can claim 1 million tokens there. And you can also claim 10,000 tokens, I believe, if you're an Eden member too. So you can learn that. And then I have a lot of exciting plans for consortium. I won't go into too much detail here, but I'm working on some new brands for signals and sheets and lots of consensus tools. I think that we can use consortium in addition to proposals in advance. We can also use it in real time, basically, by using the permission structure of EOS and some sheets that I built last week. Like, there's lots of ways we can build up consortium to make it a super helpful tool for Eden Fractal and Eden and EOS and Consortium as a whole. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. And the proposals I think are most pertinent right now are, should we use Consortium as a signaling tool? Should we post all proposals on Consortium? I think that those are two ones that we should definitely do. And then potentially changing the time and then discussing more with Das and Vlad and everybody about their new proposals. And then also one thing that I'll announce too is that Patrick decided that, well, I spoke with Das and Patrick about this recently, but Patrick wants to start doing a new brainstorming session. We used to do Fractal and EOS brainstorming sessions that Jesse used to co-host, and Das and many community members joined these, including Duane. And so I think that that is a great idea. I'm interested to hear more from Patrick, but this can be a way that we can open up a separate meetings to discuss proposals outside and so forth. I'll leave it at that. Sorry for going a bit over, but there was a lot to share, and I'll pass it on now. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to share the itinerary breakout that I posted in the Discord. So I think some ways to tie this in with what Tadas and Vlad was saying, and also Jesse. So if you look 14 UTC, that's when I think we should start this next hour. So I think that's like our transition period. So if we do have a breakout rooms for those who are more wanting to be inducted new members who don't really want to participate in what we're talking about for proposals, I think that would be a good time as we go through proposals briefing, or basically the time slots, how they're allocated. So they don't have to be proposals, but I do think it would be nice to break out time slots, right? So these time slots can either be, they can be more open, like what Vlad was saying, with more open discussion. Like a time slot could be open discussion, 15 minutes. And then another time slot could be 15 minutes where we're talking about whatever proposal and then questions. And ideally, yeah, just that's the main purpose of this itinerary, is just to have something to stick to, so that that we're more efficient and we're respecting everybody's time. I think I started at like 10 minutes, so I'm gonna try to keep it. I'll go to 7. But yeah, so anyways, so I think if we can get this implemented, then that's just going to help. One of the things though too, with what Tadas was saying, with I guess, well, depending on what proposals get talked about, maybe that could be something that the council sets up the next itinerary. They vote on, like, okay, time slot 1, time slot 2, time slot 3 is going to be this for next week, and based off of like consortium polls or whatever discussions that's going on. But yeah, I think probably the objective for this meeting is to at least have some rough like itinerary for next week, so that we can we can start iterating on this. But yeah, I think this is loose, right? Like I said, it doesn't have to be dedicated to proposals, but it's just more like they're just dedication time slots that we can fill in, and then we can break them down even more if we wanted to. But yeah, so I'd be interested in hearing feedback on that. And then so that's I'll end it there too. So I'll let Jorge go. And and then real quick, I got 17 seconds left. The whole idea too is like, I like this, right? So sticking it in 3 minutes, having like, basically I had like 3 minutes to pitch, and then you can use the time to, like, someone can spend their 3 minutes to talk about that topic. This is a rolling schedule though. So yeah, I don't know, that didn't make sense, but anyways, I'll let Jorge go.
Thank you, guys. As I said in the breakout room, this week was the DevCon conference, which took place in Bogota, Colombia. Several thousand people went there, mostly from the Ethereum community. But one of the things I noticed that is relevant to our ecosystem is this thing. I'll show you guys. There are several initiatives. One of them being this one, Proof of Humanity, which is a community from a Argentinian, I think, developer, which is eerily similar to the Fractal democracy process. Well, not to the Fractal democracy process, but it's aiming at the very same thing that Jesse was mentioning, which is Proof of Humanity. And they are pretty successful already. They have a community of about 26,000 people. And the way they do it is almost as if Dan has copy their idea. They use Zoom rooms and people, real people, to validate other people in order to operate and govern their community. And they are not scared at all about regulation. As I said, they are 26,000 people, and they had a huge room and presentation in the DevCon conference. Well, not in the DevCon conference, but in one parallel conference that Near Protocol organized. So I didn't get completely the idea that Jesse's promoted, but I understood that it's related to this concept. So because they are really they are already successful, I'll encourage Jesse and the promoters of this new idea, or the idea of using our protocol to provide proof of humanity to other people, to study this project, which is already pretty successful. The second project I wanted to mention and to show you guys is this. Bitcoin is an already established project. They operate pretty similar to Pomelo. They use quadratic funding for funding projects. And the interesting thing is that they initially funded projects only on Ethereum, but now they are funding projects on any layer one that has an Ethereum virtual machine, an EVM. So provided that this layer one, this new layer one, is incorporated to the protocol. So there is a big opportunity, I think, to approach the ENF and establish contact between the ENF and this Bitcoin protocol, so that maybe they become compatible. And so the EOS
Jorge, they're already connected. Sorry, they're already connected. They're deeply, they have a great relationship, the Gitcoin team and the ENF and the Pomelo team.
Okay, I didn't know that. So that's it then for my intervention. Thank you.
But thank you for sharing that first project. I will definitely check them out.
Yeah, I'll leave the link on the chat.
There's some great interviews with the founder, Santi Siri, too. You can check out. Thanks for sharing that, Jorge. It's a great project.
All right, Tadas, I think you're next.
Okay, thanks. So first, maybe just an idea for Jesse. Maybe the way I see it right now, it's maybe it wouldn't even be necessary to do an induction to achieve what you want to achieve. I mean, Eden token is currently non-transferable. It's like perfect reputation token, and you can simply check if an account has that Eden respect token. And I know that maybe you also probably want more Eden members, but the way I see it is that Eden should change its induction process, or at least how it adds new members. And in the past I suggested this in the Eden member chat, that maybe they should, instead of doing induction process, we could simply require members to participate in a couple of meetings of Eden Fractal, and once someone has a certain number of respect, he could start participating, say, in Eden. But yeah, that's just some ideas for how maybe this system could be simplified, so that people who come here to get into a whitelist would have to jump through less hoops, so to say. And I also wanted to respond to Vlad that maybe it's a feature that in my proposal you so in the past I saw a lot of discussion, a lot of unhappy people about how we structure the meeting. So I see that there would be incentive to participate in these polls regarding agendas, and if people don't participate when they are unhappy, well, then we say to them, next time you vote on the agenda so that we do what you want. So these are just some thoughts. Thank you.
Bruno, are you here?
I guess not.
Okay, I think he's in the chat, but I just wanted to shout him out because he's definitely a EOS OG. There he is. Say hey.
Hey, everybody.
He's sending me good notes too, so I glad you're here. Glad to have you here.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, I love what you guys are doing, and it's good to see so many friendly faces working together.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Bruno. Bruno's been doing amazing work throughout the EOS community and Wax community for a long time. So at first I didn't recognize his name, but then I realized he does awesome work. So thank you. And thanks again, Lisa, for inviting him. Okay, cool. So just a couple of follow-up comments that I wanted to make briefly. Coneman's also joining too, so that's cool. One, I think just as a general rule, like it's great that we're talking about these processes to set agenda, and we are there's a lot of great proposals about the way to do this. Although also I think it's just important to remember too, like these are signals and opinions, and like we can be flexible. Like if people want to share like things that are inspired at the moment, then we don't want to design a system that constrains us and stops us. We want it to help us structure us, but we want to find a good balance where if we need to in the moment, we can be flexible and take a couple minutes to have this conversation, that conversation. But overall, these proposals are really helpful to also provide more structure so we can learn how the community wants to best structure these times. Regarding to Das's proposal, so last night I wrote out a few paragraphs with some pros and cons that I saw in your proposal too. I think that in many ways it can make it simpler, and I think that I don't agree with what Vlad was saying. Like, I think that lots of people could make proposals, but I think you also want rooms. Like, I think you also want to have some room for if somebody just wants to make a proposal, hey, I want to talk about this for 5 minutes, then they don't need to set up the whole agenda themselves. They can just make a proposal, hey, can I talk about this for 5 minutes? And the process should be able to adapt that. Although I also like the elegance in your system that it makes it simpler in many ways. But anyway, I'll share more of these thoughts in text chat because I think that'd be helpful. And then also, I think that having the brainstorming session that Patrick is planning to announce, and also I think maybe we'll co-host together or something. I'm not sure exactly how Patrick wants to do it yet, but I'm happy to do it however Patrick wants to do it. I think that these can be helpful to explore these further. And with that, I see Patrick raise his hand, so I'll pass on to Patrick now.
Yeah, thank you everyone to be here today. That's mean a lot because we are doing those hidden fractals since a while now. That's the 20, I don't remember the exact number, then what's for a number, 20, 21?
This is the number 20.
Yeah, so that's a long time, a long journey until here. And that's let me come to a new idea, and that's not new. When the Genesis Fractal was beginning this year, I was coming with an idea and I made the brainstorming sessions. And originally this idea was to brainstorm around a mind map directly online in a Zoom call and updating the mind map on the fly when we are make ideation on something. And here into this hidden fractal, I was discussing with Dancing Joy and Vlad and Tadas Veitikunas, sorry. And we arrived to the conclusion that this hidden fractal mind map that we have here now into this hidden fractal has to become something more dynamic, more less static. That's already dynamic. The people can send their contribution to, but that's more links. Someone has an idea, he sends his links to the mind map, I update the mind map. Okay, that's good. Now the next level will be that the proposals that are on consortium, and also you can also do some proposals on hiddentalk.com. That's all on the EOS mainnet timestamped, by the way. So those proposal, let's say maybe the most complicated proposals, will be into the hidden fractal mind map. And we will introduce, I have to draft a document with Dancing Joy. He will help me for that because the English, because the beautiful talk and all, we will collaborate together and come with a process to do brainstorming sessions. It's not to discuss about other things that it is into this hidden fractal. It's not to discuss about totally things unrelated. That's to discuss around the proposals. And into the mind map, there will be the link to the proposal. And at the end of each brainstorming session, the mind map is updated. And I do that directly online. That's NAMED collaborative online collaboration, collaborative, online collaborative. And a lot of startups that do ideation and collaboration and innovation use the mind mapping directly online and do that directly online. And we have made that with Jesse Jaffe on a couple of months ago. That was to do Fractally brainstorming session on EOS. That was the subject. And here that will be hidden fractal proposals, discussing about hidden fractal proposals more in detail with a mind map. So we will draft this process that's totally fresh, but that's not new at the same time. So that's what I want to do with Dance Enjoy, and also in collaboration with Tadas Veitikunas. We have already spoke of that. By the way, there will be an hidden fractal update too on this Saturday, on this Sunday, 23rd, published, where we have made an interview, the Dance Enjoy, Tadas and myself, in 29 minutes. It's published, it's already prepared, and that's very cool for the people. They can see what is exactly hidden fractal without to have read all that we have made. Very marketing oriented. It's about networking. To earn, now we have to be more networking. So that's goes exactly in the direction of the hidden on your ship delegate, for example, Jesse Jaffe. So shout out. Thank you very much. That was my update.
Can I just really quickly welcome Conan and David Harris, two of my favorite people who I have known for quite a while in the communities and who also are on the Alien Worlds team, who were just joining after getting out of another meeting. So welcome, and you definitely want to know these people.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you, Lisa. I've gotten to know Conman and David a little bit at the Alien Worlds Fractal meetings. Encourage everybody to join those. Again, 16 UTC every Thursday. They do awesome work. So thank you so much, Conman and David, for joining. And feel free to introduce yourselves more or share your thoughts or ask any questions or anything like that. Thank you. And thank you, Lisa.
I hope that was clear that I have introduced here with my English. So Dance Enjoy, maybe you will maybe just complement what I said before that Lisa comes with the shout out. No, I am okay. I am okay. I just want to see, to understand if I was clear with my explanation, because sometimes I don't know if this is even understandable what I have said. So
it was clear to me, Patrick.
Yeah, you explained you're having a new explanation coming out with the three of you, right?
Well, he explained a couple of things. So one, there's a bit of an explanation, I guess. Patrick, I think you're muted. I don't know if you're trying to speak right now. But for one thing, he mentioned that Tadas and Patrick and I did an interview this week that's coming out soon, where we just provide some updates. That's kind of an explanation. But then also Patrick is explaining and proposing a new weekly meeting, I think. I'm not sure if you plan for it to be weekly, Patrick. I'm still not totally sure about all the details, but basically we'll work together to figure out having another meeting where we can do brainstorming sessions, everybody can join, and we can think of ideas to help grow the community, correct?
The process is not yet, I am a guy that is very structured when I do the things. Jesse can say also. So what I want to do is a document, a Google document, when I will explain in detail, high-level detail, what will be the process of this fractal of this hidden fractal brainstorming session that will be totally focused on the proposal that we have on consortium, and not on little proposal. For example, do you want to do every Wednesday at 14 UTC? That's not that will be mapped out into the mind map. That will be proposal that needs brainstorming, discussions. And those brainstorming session, as I see, the logic will be that we do those brainstorming session not every week at 13 UTC, because we have the main room here, to introduce our proposal. So the logic will be to do the brainstorming session when we have enough proposals that were raised on the consortium, and that we have pain to figure out how to go with those proposals, because that needs some brainstorming, some discussion. So that's the goal of those brainstorming session. And that will be not boring, because that will be with a mind map directly updated during that we discuss. And at the end of the call, that will be not so long, that will be very focused. You have the mind map that is updated and that it is published on myweb.io/edenfractal/edenfractal.html. That's already the mind map that we have today, but the mind map that we have today, it's kindergarten. It's a little bit kindergarten. This mind map will be very professional and innovative. That's what we do here. So that's my proposal, but I am not alone. I want to collaborate with Tadas and Dan, and we will have a good Google document, and then we will put that on consortium, because we have to signal our intent. First, testifying our intent, then do the actions, and then deliver. So that will be for this community, and that will be very helpful. That's the brainstorming session as it should be. And this is totally independent of Fractally Genesis. But by the way, that goes into the fractal way. We are going fractal, but we are independent focus. So, okay, more detail coming soon. And soon means not so long away. Okay, and I will make sure that will be made with Tadas, aka Dogman, the best dog in the galaxy. And this Saturday, don't miss, there are 6 interviews, Antelope Swiss Workshop rebranded. That's no more EOS.io Swiss Workshop. That's Antelope Swiss Workshop. That's the 16th one in a row. I do that every 2 months, always. Also when I am sick. When I am sick, I do always the workshops. And that's straight to the point. So 6 interviews coming, the poster with a swarm this Saturday with the EOSB swarms. And retweet, share, like, because it's like that we are showing to the people what we are doing. And
yeah, what's the link?
Is
it on YouTube?
That's swarmed this Saturday at 15:30 UTC with EOSB swarms. You will see the tweet when it comes, and there will be the poster with all the people that I am interviewing. That's OGs into this EOS ecosystem, and I do that since April 2020. And if I can think all what I am doing since 2018, I have made about 30 meetups in all. So it's published on Nova Crypto YouTube channel. I will put the link into the chat here, Lisa. Like this, you can go at any time, and that's pre-recorded. I do never video live. That's not good. I do always pre-recorded. Like this, I can cut all my bullshit, and I can do fantastic video, very straight to the point. And I put into the chat now my Nova Crypto YouTube channel, which, by the way, is raising 500 subscribers soon. So
I will add it to the Crown
smash
Landia
the bell
calendar.
and share the link. Thank you.
Hopefully Lenny is gathering all these links for us.
I'm also working to curate these links too. There's so many interesting proposals and links that everybody has working between Patrick's proposal and Jesse's proposal, and then everybody joining, and then consortium proposals and DOS. Like this is, it's pretty awesome and amazing. So thank you, Patrick, for sharing an overview. Thank you, everybody, for all the great work. I'll also add thank Ben and thank you, Pascal, for joining. Really appreciate it. I think Pascal was a delegate. I don't know who the delegates were. Vlad was a delegate from our room. I think I saw Pascal was a delegate. I'm not sure who the third delegate was.
The delegate of our room.
Okay, cool.
Very happy.
Excellent.
Jesse.
Oh, Jesse's delegate now too? Okay, great.
And Jesse also, shout out.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I'm glad to hear Jesse's gonna be a great delegate, as well as Pascal. And yeah, this whole process is coming together really cool. I also put a link to the swarm tweet that Patrick did for the for the Nova Crypto interviews. And then also Lenny made a proposal too. Sorry, Lenny, I totally forgot to mention your proposal, but Lenny made proposals and also shared it in the Discord. Yeah, I'll also work to curate this and try to put it all in one page as well, so we can refer to it. And then these would be great to discuss more. I'm looking forward to discussing these in Discord chat, and maybe we could do a brainstorming session or some other meeting at some point this week to discuss it more. Then that would be great. I should probably provide a link to the Discord channel, or one of us should, in case that link doesn't work, because I think sometimes it doesn't. I'll also add too, I shared a link to the mind maps that Patrick was talking about in the chat, and Patrick also mentioned Eden Talk 2, which uses BBS. It could be a very helpful tool. I'm really excited about it. It could be a very helpful tool for using proposals and all sorts of other stuff. So I'll share some links to Eden Talk as well, in case anybody wants to check it out. That's in the chat. And then also we recorded a Eden Town Hall podcast this week. We've been doing video podcasts for the past few weeks. So I'll share links here too. We talk about Patrick's new interviews and several other initiatives, just in case people are interested in learning more about Eden and community and so forth, and want to have some cool content. We've been putting more effort into making these like good and exciting quick summaries and so forth for what's happening in the Eden and EOS community. And then, yep, I suppose I'll pass on to Cone Man now. Welcome, Cone Man.
Thank you ever so much. Yeah, hi everyone. My first time to the Eden Fractal, so apologies I haven't made it before, but always seem to be busy these days, especially with some exciting news on the horizon. Before I continue on, is this only for discussions based around Eden Fractal, or can I discuss something very exciting that's coming up that might be relevant as well?
Please do.
Yes.
For God's sake.
Okay, well, to that end, tomorrow Alien Worlds is releasing the Syndicate / DAOs, which is really exciting. It's a brand new take on governance on chain. It's something that's never been done before in the blockchain gaming space. Not to say that there haven't been other DAOs before, but this specific implementation of it is basically pitting all the planets and communities against each other in a very political way. And there's some exciting takes on that. But so Alien World staff are not allowed to run for the first 2 months at present. That's the information that we have. That's fine. That's absolutely perfectly acceptable. This is to bolster the community, bolster their spirit in, and not have them think, oh, well, you know, it's just the staff who are going to be running this. What chance do I have? That sort of thing. But there's nothing stopping us planning various things for our release and governance. And I've been thinking very hard on this. I would like to merge as many communities as possible into one big alliance. I haven't got a name for it yet. I was just thinking like the Planetary Alliance or something along that lines. But over the next coming weeks, I'm going to be building this out. I'd like to extend my hand to everyone here. So if you'd like to be part of that, please do. And the whole point is to make our own charters for the planets. How would we like to govern them? You know, sort of like a 10 commandment system for each planet. Like, let's follow these to the letter. Let's make the community really interested in making us custodians of those. What sort of proposals can we make? How can we further the space, the technology, everything surrounding that? So yeah, that's basically what's going to be happening.
Yay!
Nice.
So exciting.
Awesome.
Thank you. Now, how are you making us compete against each other?
That's by the voting power on each planet. So let's say that I want to run on Veils, and Dan, you might want to run on Magor. There's nothing stopping us competing for each other's votes. But at the same time, we could work together and be like, well, we've got this common goal. These treasuries and the planets, they're worth millions and millions of dollars, and we'll be able to utilize them in various ways. One way that we could do it is making a proposal. Let's make a proposal to make our own game or our own technology system. Let's differentiate the planets by their various virtues. I want Veils to be the hub and center of ideation, whereas you might want Magor to be the hub and center of technology for the education, or however you want to, propose things. But there's nothing stopping us, coming together and say, okay, that's great. How could my system also utilize your system? So as much as we can compete against each other, we can also be frenemies at the same time.
I love it.
Competition.
Awesome.
Yes,
David, what are you
competition
doing?
is very healthy.
Absolutely.
How are you going to play, David? Are you there?
Oh yeah. To be honest, I haven't really thought about it. I'm kind of just sitting on the sidelines and seeing what's happening before I decide whether I'm going to take a jump in or not.
So for those who don't know, David is like a master lore writer. So it like one of the best ways to start playing is to like extend the lore into your own concept of like how you want to be in that metaverse. Kamal, were you saying something? Did I cut you off?
Yeah, no, I don't think David has a choice on whether he wants to run or not. He's going to end up running. He just doesn't know it yet.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the early warning signals. I love it. The day before it launches and he's talking about 2 months ahead. If that doesn't give you a clue of how Cone Man can bring people together for a purpose. So again, I encourage everyone on EOS. E is for EOS and EOS is for Ike. So come on over and experiment and play.
EOS is for Ike. Yes, definitely. Thank you, Lisa, and thank you, Cone Man and David. It's really cool. I'm learning so much about what's going on in the Alien Worlds and Wax community right now. So it's awesome that that all these communities are emerging. And thanks also Jesse for helping to bring this together as well, and Lenny.
Yeah,
so,
can I just give a little just comment from what the Alien Worlds guys were saying? It sounds super interesting. I've been talking with Lisa about governance and how we can organize these resources and use them in the most effective way. The community I come from, we've been spending a lot of time thinking about these things. But from our side, it's interesting. We've always had a lack of resources. There's always been too little to go around, and we've been scrapping for years. And so this is an interesting situation where it seems like there's more of an abundance of resources. And I think it's a great match because we've been in this environment this whole time, and we've been able to develop a lot of efficiencies in some of our governance processes. And so I'm super excited for this. I haven't really looked so much into Alien Worlds. I really got an intro from Lisa. I'll be joining the Fractal tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to helping you guys out and everything that I can do to provide value.
Well said. I mean, it's a beautiful system in the fact that you don't need to be a massive Alien Worlds player, or you can be a first-time introductee and still be part of the whole planetary governance system, and it can further your own ambitions, governance needs, and of course there's an abundance of resources, but at the same time TLM is also limited to a certain amount. So the whole treasury won't be open at one time, and there'll be, I think it's about 2% at the start goes in, and then the next week another 2%. So it's going to be released over time, but there's going to be plenty of resources, and people who can utilize it the most and efficiently are going to naturally be able to rise to the top. So you bringing your experience and leadership qualities to make that a fruition is probably going to secure you more votes than you realize.
Very interesting. Thank you, Cone Man. I'd like to also share, I suppose more for EOS community members, but also Wax community members in general, because I imagine lots of people are learning new things as these communities converge and come together. There are some cool resources. So for one thing, Patrick and I this week, we did an interview that will be coming out on the 23rd as part of the Antelope Swiss workshop. We did an interview with Duane about the Alien Worlds Fractal. This is the second one that we've done. We did the first one a few months ago. So I'll share some links to the first one and also look out for that to learn more about Alien Worlds Fractal. I also worked on a page, edencreators.com/Alien Worlds Fractal, where I shared the first interview with Duane, and then I wrote up a little bit about Alien Worlds and made a little bit of art and stuff like that. So I'll share that in the link. And if people want to check out more about Alien Worlds Fractal, in addition to awfractal.com, which has links to RCP and so forth, as you can see in Duane's picture, that looks really cool. And then also, Duane and I did an interview with Lisa as well about a month or two ago. And I'm not sure, Duane, has that been released? Because that was a great interview. And Lisa's looking confused, like she doesn't remember it. Yeah. We did
I
that.
do a lot of interviews. I'm like, wait.
That was the first time we met Lisa, and then we might do more
That's
soon
right,
too.
officially.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen you forever, but yeah.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah. Going to be released this next week. Yeah, we have a couple more lined up as well. So anybody that's looking for an interview about them running for, not even running, ideas about running on, for a council on Alien Worlds, we're doing some interviews so we can book in some more.
Yeah.
And while we're doing shout outs, I feel compelled to also give the ultimate shout out to Duane, because without Duane, I wouldn't be here. Most of us that I know anyway, dozens and dozens of people that I recruited to work at Alien Worlds, plus many to play, none of that would have been possible without Duane. So the ultimate shout out to him, and of course Max, but he keeps going every week, every day for 4 years or more that I know of. And so massive shout out.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Duane, yeah, for sure. And we had the interview of Duane that was last week or beginning of the week. I don't remember the days, but that will be published on this Saturday, on this Sunday. And I encourage you to see the video. That's straight to the point. And that will be 3 days after the syndicates votes of the 20 October. And Duane, I think you will go to try to be elected there. So I wish you all the best for those elections. And the video is just released 3 days after. So and we discussed that on the show. And also there are some links with the video of Jesse Jaffe that will be also released on the 23rd. There we spoke about network to earn, networking to earn, and there are some links with the WAX blockchain, with Alien World, and we spoke about how we can to try to avoid, or let's say minimize, that we have some bots into the play, because that's the major problem that we have, and that the proposal of Jesse, networks to earn and networking to earn, that's two things that are very important that for this Hidden Onios election, and also to help us into this hidden fractal. So we are all connected. So when you will see the videos, you will see some connection between them. All is connected. So yeah, that's entitled Web 3.0 Full Spectrum, because all that is using the Web 3. And for me, WAX and Alien World, that's totally platform based on Web 3 and not on Web 2. So you will see the video and you will see some good connection, I think. And thank you again, Duane. Thank you, Jesse, to have accepted to be part of this Antelope Swiss workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. I just shared links to those in the chat as well. And Tommy.
Hey, how you guys doing? To Jesse's point about marketing, and Patrick was just talking about it, and networking to earn. You could also add learn to earn, because that is really catchy, and there's so much to learn. What's consortium? It's on-chain governance. It's this, and you can earn by being rewarded in these consensus meetings. So I think from a marketing standpoint, that was brilliant. What Jesse was saying about networking, but I also think learning to earn.
Yeah.
And just to touch on, I wrote an article about this. I'll share in the chat, but we know about inter-blockchain communication, and I think one of the special features of Fractal governance is I would call it IGBC, intergovernmental blockchain communication. This can only be done through human interaction, and like you look at what Alien Worlds was just talking about, and they're reaching across in this meeting, and bringing people from different ecosystems into their system. I bring up an example of, what if we all, maybe I'll make a proposal on this, like, what if we all decided to post all of our contributions on Hive, and we could take all the revenue from that and we can govern that in the treasury, and what we can do, we're fractally. Oh, sorry, I got to answer that. I'll leave it there.
Makes sense. Make totally sense. Intergovernment blockchain communication, the nice article that we have also mentioned into the video that we made on Hidden Fractal update number 2. There will be a link about this document that you have written. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I think. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks, Tommy. And we gotta go, but thanks for sharing. I'll also share the link too, and thanks for sharing your thoughts. I'll share the link to Tommy's article. It's a great article. He makes a great point about IGBC and many things that are possible with Eden Fractal and Alien Worlds Fractal and Eden and so forth that are unlocking like superpowers for the community to do all sorts of really exciting stuff. So I recommend checking that out, as well as Tommy's blog in general has a lot of really great insightful articles, and Learn to Earn, Network to Earn, all of these. We learn so much at these meetings. So I completely agree. Duane?
Just saying thanks so much, guys. And for all of us that have been here from the beginning, to see that this is the point we've been waiting for, right? You know what I mean? It's been competitive and maybe not as friendly a space. This NFT has brought people together and cooperating, the whole frenemies effect that Coman mentioned. And just to see, this is our year to thrive, right? We've been counted out on the EO side, and to see the leadership come back, understanding that we need leadership for decentralized communities. It's just so exciting to see that, some of the early ideas that we had are now being realized, right? And this collaboration and not fighting within groups and not being, it's just super exciting. And commend everyone here for having the stick-activity. And, obviously a lot of us haven't been here for the bucks. We've been here for the community, and just realizing that this sort of, I'm not as active on all of the socials, but I just really appreciate getting to network with people in this way. So I can't wait to see our next iterations. And Lisa, Jesse, all the marketers for bringing these teams together. Yeah, it's going to be just imagine where we're going to be in a year. It's super exciting. So just wanted to thank everybody. And I got to sign off. See you guys later.
Thanks so much, Duane. I completely agree. We're on a very exciting trajectory right now, and I really appreciate all your thoughts, Duane, and everybody. We've been going on with the meeting for quite a long time now. We're on 2.5 hours or so since we started recording. So I'm thinking that maybe I'll stop the recording now, and people are free to hang out if they like and keep discussing. Does that sound good? Patrick, I see, is going like that, and I think that we got some peace signs. Is everybody cool with that? We'll stop the meeting now. Any final thoughts?
Yeah.
Cool.
I will say at 3210, we will say, go Eden Fractal. Okay. Are you ready? Raise your hand. If you are ready, raise your hand.
I'm ready.
I do the countdown. That's the process into the Eden Fractal, by the way. So 3, 2, 1, 0.
Eden
Fractal.
I'm gonna say go golf.
Yeah,
It's
baby.
almost like golf.
Nice.
The golf. Nice, very nice. All right, cool. Thanks everybody so much. I'll stop the recording now. It's been an awesome meeting, and thanks to all the new people and all the great thoughts. Awesome stuff. Looking forward to next week at the same time, and see you there. Thank you.
Go Eden, Eden, Fractal.